Okay, Kit, so let's take a look at these essays. It looks like they're our last essays. Let's see. So this is the one about spending money on art. Or should they spend money on other things? Let's see. Okay. Experts throughout both the developed and developing world have debated whether government should allot more budget in art. Okay, that's awkward. You can't say more budget. So instead, what you can say is whether the government should allot more money to art for the development of the quality of life of its citizens. All right, this is what I call a very clunky sentence. Some people might call it very heavy. And the reason for that is because there are a lot of these little prepositional phrases which just don't make the sentence flow very well. So it's probably a good idea if we change this around a little bit to make it a little less heavy. Look what happened here. So it should allot, let's pretend it says more money in art for the development of the quality of life of its citizens. So it's just like one prepositional phrase after another. And this doesn't really allow for like a nice fluid sentence. So I want to see that revised. Maybe we can come up with something, just really, sometimes it's just a matter of reordering some of the words in the sentence and you can get rid of at least a couple of these. Okay, let's see if I can come up with something kind of immediate, but I don't think I can. Whether it should allot more money to art in the hopes that quality of life is improved. Maybe like that. Or if it is better to spend more money on things other than art. Some people believe that spending more money, not in, but on art, you spend money on something, can be beneficial. However, I strongly disagree. This essay will argue that government should allocate more money to things other than art that can greatly affect the well-being of people's lives, using examples from the UK government and Oxford University. Okay, the rest of it's fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that suggests that art can help develop the quality of people's lives. Quality of lives. Okay. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, art making is a form of healing and therapy. Okay, for example, art therapies contribute to positive clinical outcomes such as reduction of anxiety, stress, and pain. Okay, participation in structured art activities enhances cognitive abilities and social skills that support learning, such as memory, problem solving, and communication. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 90% of individuals who participated in art-related activities like painting, sculpting, singing, and dancing have a better outlook on life, compared to those who never took any art-related courses. Therefore, it's clear that art in any way, shape, or form can greatly enhance individuals' quality of life. Okay, so careful here. You're telling us that art is beneficial. Great, okay, but that's not what they're asking you. They're asking you if governments should spend large amount of money on this. So the question is not, is art positive in our life or is it not positive? Because that definitely feels like what you've written here. Like you're writing about whether art is positive or not, but that's not the question. So here it definitely feels like you have partially answered the question, but certainly not to the extent that you're supposed to, okay? Let's move on. On the other hand, although there's a case for art to be used as a form of healing and therapy, even enhancing the cognitive ability and social skills of individuals, the impact of governments allotting, just with an ing here instead of that too, more money. You keep saying this, a lot more budget. I don't like this expression. It doesn't feel particularly natural, and you keep using it. I think you want to use budget. I can see that. So take a look at what other expressions you can use with budget so you can use this word since you seem to want to. Okay, let's see. The impact of government allotting more funds on other things, on things other than art, not other things other. So on things other than art cannot be overstated. This is largely because no comma are more effective ways of improving the quality of life of its citizens, plural. It's not just one citizen. One example is through subsidizing the education of not only students but also professionals who want, no S, to further upgrade themselves. Careful with that expression. It's a little strange to upgrade themselves. You don't upgrade yourself. You improve your skills. You seek maybe personal and professional development, but upgrade themselves is a strange expression. To cite the effectiveness of this program, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that over 78% of professionals were able to finish their master's degree because of the subsidy the UK government provided. Consistent with this line of thinking is that 73% of students who finished high school were more willing to enroll in college here, knowing that they will not be burdened by student loan debt. A follow-up study conducted by the same team of researchers 15 years later demonstrated that both the professionals and students who finished their education were better off compared to their contemporaries who never underwent, careful with your tense here, higher education. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that allotting more money, more funds to things other than art, like education, is far more effective. Okay, a lot of examples here, a lot, maybe too many. It's a lot of these statistics. And some of these can be effective, but sometimes it can become overdone. If it's just too much, yeah, it just feels really a little overdone. So try to see if you can provide some sort of support that is not statistic dependent. Okay, fine. You said here that they were able to finish their master's degree because of the subsidy the UK government provided. All right, well, great. Well, tell me why that's important. Tell me why, this is clearly something far more beneficial than just, funding art classes, because this helps society as a whole progress. So you can add an extra idea talking about this rather than just, using statistic after statistic, okay? So, all right, let's move on. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that government should not concentrate solely on, you concentrate on something, arts for the development of the quality of life of its citizens, plural. It is predicted that art will have its place, but for it to be, reason for the betterment of the quality of life of its citizens is not well supported. That's a little awkward. Let's try it again. It is predicted that art will have its place, but as improving the quality of life of its citizens is not well supported. Oh, that doesn't really work either. So I'm going to ask you to kind of somehow fix this sentence, because I can't really. It's a little muddled and I can't really fix it. Okay, so I mean, it's a nice essay. You've certainly said a lot. Let's see, I want to check your word count really fast. Oh wow, okay, 500 words. Like I said, I thought you should have reduced this a little bit. It just felt really heavy with those statistics. I would have preferred if you, first of all, you had a lot of data here. A lot of, it's a very long paragraph, so you could have reduced it a little bit. If you had like one less in general and didn't replace it with anything else, that would have been fine. Like all of this, like the follow-up study and everything, it didn't need to be there. And honestly, I don't know if I really want to see something which is just so heavily focused on statistics. So it's really important to also get some ideas out there. So instead of just, using all these statistics, maybe you could have said something like what I suggested before, like how important education is to the cultural and economic and social aspect of a country, and kind of moving in that direction, and just giving forth some of your ideas, which I'm sure you have. All right. So with that, let's move on. Okay, your computer didn't work. Let's see, to whom it may concern, I'm writing this letter to express my dissatisfaction with the recent computer I purchased from your shop. I would like to explain my situation in more detail below. Lovely. I recently purchased the new Dell Alienware M17 model from your shop last 26th of July 2019. I came home and booted the computer to check if it was working properly. After booting, there was a prompt that asked me to update the operating system to the latest version. I followed all the instructions, plural, and after installation, it was recommended that I restart the computer. To my surprise, after restarting the computer, okay, I don't really like that, restarting the computer. This is one of those wonderful opportunities you have to show a little cohesion. So to my surprise, after this step, okay, it's a great way to show a link to that previous sentence. I heard a disturbing pop that came from inside the computer, after which the screen turned blank and went off. I tried to turn it on a few more times before I finally phoned your customer service. All right, I wasn't really curious about the word pop. It's a formal letter, and so it just it doesn't really feel particularly formal. You could have just said, I heard a disturbing noise or I heard a disturbing sound, and that would have been fine. The customer service representative who answered the phone confirmed that all the installation steps were done correctly and suggested the noise may be a manufacturing defect, okay? She assured me the unit would be replaced and that someone from the shop would arrive to collect the computer. It has been 3 days since the phone call, and I am yet to be contacted by someone from your shop. I request you look into the matter and suggest that someone should come over good and collect the computer. It would be great if you could replace my unit with a new one since it is still under warranty. The invoice number is this, and with this letter is a receipt. I wait your prompt response. All right, lovely. This is really good. Even the thing I said about pop is essentially a detail. But, you know, since this was really nice, you used some really high-level grammar, which was lovely. I saw some subjunctive in there. I like this. I am yet to be contacted. Yeah, actually, I have yet to be contacted. We've also been good here. But this was lovely. Felt kind of long, just like the previous one. Let's just double check. Yep, 263 words. So you're well over the word minimum. I'm hoping that these are taking you under an hour. So do let us know if that's the case or if it's not the case. Lovely job. Do we have any more essays from you? I think this was your last set. If you would like to continue, I know that you can sign up for more essay corrections. One thing that I would like to see is I'd like to see a little less of the statistics, and I'd like you to see you kind of throw in your own ideas, okay, in the support for your paragraphs, and I'm confident that you can do it. I'm sure you can. So I would like to see that. So if you decide to sign up for maybe some extra essays, it would be nice to see you kind of applying that in those, okay? So I look forward to seeing more of your work. Let us know whatever you decide. Let us know when you take your exam and how you do, of course. Okay, so just keep us updated on what's going on, and we look forward to hearing from you.